I'm going to kill two birds with one stone by doing this mini podcast thing. There's an opportunity for me to practice that, and also give you an update on TEDx St Peter Port and some of the things that I learned from there. I'm going to take some photos from the event and put them online, and actually if you look at the Twitter feed that I did whilst I was at TEDx St Peter Port, you'll see a stream of photos popping up, which is probably useful to our thinking. First thing, as I say, is the organisation is very good, very slick. Delta did a fantastic job. They had a really good choice of room layout. They used a furniture company to have sort of drop-out beanbag type stuff, so people could lounge around between talks and just talk and share ideas. Rather than lay on food as a sort of formal thing, they had graze zones. They had nuts and fruits and raisins and stuff like that to promote local produce. There was an honesty box for people to pay for that, and they sort of referred to it as being like brain food, so you're active throughout the day rather than bloaty, and allowed people to again wander around and mix and chat and mingle. Provide teas and coffees at each break, so the logistics are very good. Speakers were exceptional, a good range from very slick to quirky, slightly amateurish, but really engaging and fun. So it didn't look overly professional, neither too amateurish either. I think they got the blend absolutely spot on. I suppose the key things that we need to are challenged over is obviously they had much more significant budget. So we need to be savvy about how we try and do more with less or as much. I do think the stage layout was very good. I think the prompts, the teleprompts, were also very good. The idea of having screens at either side, so that they had 200 in the room because Mark had been to Rio to get his 200 user license. So they had screens throughout the room so that you didn't have to be at the front to see everything. And also they did some artistic performances where the screens were actually quite useful because 200 people really couldn't see the art, whereas they could crowd around the screens and see the art. They had a number of photographers there clicking away all day, so they'll have a fantastic photo archive. But actually the use of flash photography and the constant clicking of cameras I actually found quite distracting, and I know a couple of others did as well. If you're trying to concentrate on something and all you can hear is click, 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 and the occasional flashing, it kind of takes it away from it a bit. So logistically, it's very easy to get to and from the hotel, and sort of taxis knew where they were going, and it's one of the things that we need to think about in our planning. It was a good welcome. Everyone had a little hello badge, you know, hello, my name is Tim, so that when you mix and mingle, people knew who you were. There was also various challenges throughout the day, so that they had post-it pads underneath and you could scribble yourself challenges. What am I going to do differently in the next 5 days and stuff like that. Stick it on an ideas wall outside, and some of the best ideas got prizes, and you know, some of the speakers were sort of challenging with so what are you going to do, and write that down and get in contact. So this is this idea of engagement that's ongoing. Overall, quite a few things. I think the key lessons taken away is about the room setup, about the food, about the grazing, about the furniture, about the idea of not being too theatrical in terms of layout, but much more lounge layout. I thought it was very clever. Anyway, that's enough. We can catch up later. That's really 5 minutes of conversation, but hopefully a useful update for you. And for me, it's an interesting test to see if video blogging or podcasting kind of works out, so I'll be interested in your feedback on the style of this. See you soon.